What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for 86. This is episode 17, and with me, as always, I have Loose Paid.
Mhm. Yeah, so the start of this episode just really kicks it up in high gear. I mean, I didn't think like the Legion's attack on the Republic is gonna be like that bad, but it got bad to the point where a lot of the members of the 86 got wiped out, and Lena's just pretty much trying to lead the resistance against the Legion forces until the end. So I mean, it pretty much we pretty much get to see the results of that by the end credit scene at the end of this episode.
I was kind of surprised at how quickly they invaded the Republic. I didn't think it would happen that fast. I kind of like I guess it really is just to emphasize how much of like how big of a threat the Legion are now. But apparently, as we learn in this episode, a lot of the reason why they seem to have, I guess, this tactical advantage is due to this. I forget what the name of it was, but it's basically a railgun that they have, and it's a mobile railgun. Like they're using train tracks to move the railgun around. That's or something, and there's no way they can destroy it from the air.
Yeah.
And they also mentioned too, which I found interesting, was that the Legion which is what I kind of speculated on in the last episode review, that the Legion aren't typically known for being really that being like strategic or their assaults aren't strategic or tactical, that they just kind of mindlessly attack, and this is like one of the few, or probably I guess one of the first times they've done this kind of, I guess, coordinated assault that they're doing on these different places, and I thought that was kind of interesting. It sounds like, I guess, like maybe they're evolving to some extent, or is what they're trying to say.
Maybe this is what,
because
I'm guessing this might have been their original plan, like make their enemies believe that they're at a disadvantage until they gather up their forces and launch their simultaneous attack on all the other nations.
Yeah. But of course, not only is the Republic attacked, but also the where the Shin and the others are located. I did go back and rewatch the post-credit scene for the last episode, and it ended really abruptly. I mean, you could barely. I mean, like it happened pretty fast in the end of the last episode. That it seemed like they all just got attacked by what was that guy's name? Kiri. Yeah. He apparently just, I guess, as we learn later, this is due to some kind of, like a strike from the railgun, or some kind of a mortar strike, that the 86 are attacked by, are basically, their location is destroyed, like where they are. Everybody's dead, as you see later, but they're, of course, the only ones that survived this attack. But everybody else pretty much just got killed. So that was kind of surprising. Like, I didn't really expect the Legion to do something like that, but I guess we kind of have seen something similar happen before, so I guess it's not too surprising they would do something. They would use some kind of a weapon like that, I guess, or some kind of mortar strike to attack them.
Yeah, but so they find out that they said this railgun got attacked during an earlier battle, and it got damaged to the point where it has to initiate repairs for at least 2 months before it can fire again. And they also say they have a anti-air defenses or something, which is why they can't attack it from the air. Yeah, and also their artillery can't reach to where the railgun is, supposedly, unless they really know where it is. Like, even if they know where it is, they can't reach it with their limited artillery. So their next plan is just to go for the straight up suicide run ground assault. And of course, the obvious choice, which that the military picks, is of course the 86 again. And
yeah, I kind of thought was, in my head, I was kind of going through alternative strategy that they could have used without having to sacrifice people. Like, I mean, it's on a track and the air assaults aren't working. I was thinking, like, what if they use some kind of a bomb and like put it on like a train or something and just had it like a fast moving train and just had it go right to the railgun and try to destroy it that way. I thought that would have been a viable strategy because I would figure they might have that kind of technology anyway. But apparently the other alternative option, the only other one is literally just a suicide mission that, like a ground assault by people, or, like in this case by the 86. And I kind of figured that was where it was going to go because, they all know that what the 86 are capable of. And they have experience, and especially that Shin is probably one of their best fighters. So I kind of figured that was what was going to happen in this episode once they mentioned that the only alternative is like a suicide mission.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that Shin and the others just straight up accepted this. Although, like, they realize that it's not surprising that they're being used to this extent once again. I mean, they even realize that, like, even if they're in another country, they're being treated no differently than when they were fighting for the Republic. And you can clearly see, like, while they were talking in the cafeteria, you can clearly see some of the soldiers still holding some amount of animosity towards them.
Yeah, I mean, people still hold animosity towards them, and also it seems like people, like the people that do show kindness towards them, it's more so like pity. And I mean, in a way, I guess they see that as not much better than being just generally just discriminated against. Like in this episode, in this episode, we see that Shin obviously has a problem with how much he's been pitied by these people. And he doesn't want their pity, which leads to like a pretty emotional scene. Like, I mean, it's funny because we rarely see Shin really get as emotional as he got in this episode, aside from like, I guess when he fought his brother or anything having to do with his brother. Most of the time he doesn't get that emotional, so it was kind of interesting to actually see him sort of get as angry as he got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we can clearly see that based on, like, we just see his perspective of, everything he's seeing, but it's just unknown, like, what his current mental state is. Like, at times we see him see visions of all of his friends who died in battle, including, like, I guess hallucinating the fact that that Eugene's sister blames him for killing him in one of the previous episodes.
I wasn't sure if that was like because he had gotten those letters, like we saw in the one, I think it was the last episode, he got a letter from her, but we didn't see what it said, and then this episode we saw what it said, and then like he gets another, well, not really a letter, but something else from her, which is like, I guess it's some kind of a crude drawing of a monster or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's more of a drawing of Shin, like in her.
I couldn't make out what it was, but yeah, I guess maybe so. That might be what it was supposed to be.
It was hard for me. It was hard for me to know whether or not, like, that message he opened, like, that said, like, why did you kill my brother? Like, initially I thought that was fake, but looking back, I don't know.
I thought it might have been fake at first, but then, like, I guess it's real. Like, I'm not really sure. Like, I guess it's kind of, maybe it's up to interpretation whether she actually like harbors, like, she like harbors resentment or something towards Shin, and because she thinks that he killed her brother. But I mean, that, I guess that the important thing is that's the way that Shin sees it, and it's just kind of adding to his seemingly deteriorating mental state, which is one of the reasons, I guess, why he just kind of lost it in the last episode. Was like just all of this stuff, all of this, it kind of just added to all the things that were just making him, I guess, like, lose it to an extent, or just kind of, go crazy. And I think Shin is the kind of character that just seems to bottle up a lot of his emotions, and he doesn't really want to, like, talk about it. and that's why like he just had that moment in this episode probably where he just snapped, because he just doesn't want to, express any of that, I guess. But yeah,
I mean,
I wasn't really sure. Like, I mean, maybe we'll find out what she really thinks about Shin, or if she really like, I guess, blames him for what happened. But like that's the way it seems right now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll eventually.
We also know
get
that
to that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we also know that. I also thought that like, I also thought about like, what if it was that guy that wrote that letter and not really her, like, because you remember like she was talking to that one guy who we know doesn't really like Shin, and I was thinking like, what if he was like manipulating that, messing with stuff just to make Shin think that. I don't know, because like he was the one that delivered the letter, so
I really don't think that he would manipulate something like that to an extent. I
don't know, because like we know he doesn't like Shin, so I mean that's what makes me think he might have done something, but maybe not. I mean it's hard to tell.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think a guy like that would go that far to manipulate like a little girl's like message towards Shin like that. But
I guess not.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he has some issues with Shin, but I I don't think it's like vindictive in a various way. I think I think the one issue he has with Shin is just in his overall demeanor.
Yeah. But yeah, like I did like how the episode, like I said, just I kind of just shows Shin that Shin is more just kind of sort of like shows what's going on in his mind and how it's affecting him.
Yeah, and of course the final scene of this episode is of course not just Shin and his group, but other members of the squadron that they're working with are given a briefing of what they're going up against, and you can clearly see some of the other soldiers are not happy about this idea, and and of course they're given the option, to refuse if they don't want to undertake this mission. But of course we know for a fact that Shin and the others are gonna take this mission for sure. But we don't know what the other members of their squadron thinks.
Yeah, I mean we do have that one guy saying like he would rather not have to sacrifice like children who are around the age of his, I guess his kids or something, in battle. So like we know some of them aren't okay with them fighting. But yeah, I mean like that was, I don't really have much else to say about the episode. I mean there is like a post-credit scene too, where
it follows up on the opening segment of the episode in which Lena's trying to fight off the Legion, but we can clearly see that things didn't like go as well as we would have hoped. So, and we also see the last segment of that scene, we see like Lena's room just completely wrecked from the battle.
Yeah, like I said, I was kind of surprised at how quickly the Republic got taken over by the Legion, and how quickly it got destroyed. So maybe this will be the thing that in a way like kind of reunites Shin and Lena, that they both have to, maybe they'll meet on the battlefield or something, or they both end up having to fight off the Legion together.
Yeah, there's one thing I forgot to mention. Like during like Shin's meeting, I guess with I can't remember if it was with the colonel or general. It's the guy with the eye patch. He reveals that he can psychically sense where the Legion are. So he points out in the map where the Legion are located at, including of course attacking the Republic. But of course he mentions like, don't worry about the Republic, we're not helping them out. I mean, you can clearly see. Yeah, we can clearly tell that that the Jihad is not interested in helping out the Republic in any sort of way. But I'm guessing that once Shin and the others engage the Legion in their mission, it's possible that they might end up heading back to the Republic to maybe help out where the other members of the 86 and Lena are.
Yeah. And we also see too, like the general and I guess this guy working under him are, I guess they're implying that they may or may not be up to something. They may have some ulterior motive, I guess, in sending the 86 to the, or they're I guess it seems to imply that the general is hoping that he's essentially sending the 86 to their death, because he knows he seems confident they're not going to make it, or they're not going to make it out. So
I mean, all they care is just getting results from that battle. I mean, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, I don't really have that much else to say about this episode. I thought it was a decent episode, just in terms of just us getting a little bit more insight into Shin's mental state in particular, and just it's interesting just to see how much the Legion have just destroyed every place they've attacked, and just the fact that now they have this new weaponry that they can use. So it kind of adds some more stakes to the series, and not to mention there's of course the plot point where Shin has to go after Kiri. So I'm guessing he's probably going to be like like I said, it's going to be very similar to the fight with Shin and his brother, I'm assuming. But of course they have to take down this railgun as well.
I'm guessing that giant railgun is Kiri. That's my guess.
Possibly, yeah. Because I mean, it's because you remember in the last episode when he said he when he showed up briefly, like that was when they got attacked. So and then of course, if we remember in the opening, it seems to, in a way, it seems like it's also kind of implying that too, because like we have the shot of the train tracks, and then it leads up to who I guess that character is supposed to be Kiri, and maybe he's that's what they're trying to say, is that he is the railgun. So maybe that's you could be right about that. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to say about the episode.
I thought it was a good episode. I definitely enjoyed it. The only problem is that we're not going to get another episode until another couple weeks. And
apparently they're experiencing some production issues with the show, so they're going on a bit of a break for a week.
Yeah, and also there's also going to be another episode break sometime in the mid-December. I think it's around December 11th. So we don't know what they're going to end up doing for the remainder of the season, whether they're just going to keep following on with this like one episode per week, or if they're going to have an occasion where they air 2 episodes for 1 week, just so it doesn't cross over with the following anime season that's coming up.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what they do, because we have seen shows do that before, where if they fall behind, they'll release 2 episodes at once. But yeah, so that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.